In this demonstration, we're going to highlight how Gluware provides automation of Cisco's Meraki SDN solution. So let's get logged in here to Gluware. And here in Gluware's config modeling, you see the node. In this case, the node is the Meraki cloud. The Meraki solution runs in the public cloud and is a full software-defined controller. So a step that was already done before this demo was a workflow was done, and Gluware has ingested all of the data models through API calls the Meraki controller provided. So as we look and navigate the features that are ingested, we can see things like the SNMP settings, the NetFlow settings, the SNMP for network management. So all of these have been ingested from the controller into Gluware as policies. And now we can provide automation of those policies. So while Meraki is great in terms of a user interface that's intuitive, the complication comes in really two key areas. One is that it provides all the configuration options, even for those you're not using. And two is when you need to make changes across multiple orgs, hundreds of network-wide settings, or thousands of devices. So what we're going to show here is the ability to actually modify network-wide settings across multiple, or could be hundreds, or typically, in our customers' examples, they have hundreds of networks. So what we're showing here is we have an assembly, and you have your network settings, your config settings, and others. And here you can assign, you can do a multi-select of those networks, and then you can configure the options. So you can do one at a time, or in this case, we've done a multi-select. And now we're assigning network policy for NetFlow and syslog and SNMP. We're assigning the policy, maybe a new policy or an updated policy, to multiple networks. So this is really, again, where the benefit of Gluware comes in and the interaction through API. And here we're adding two SSIDs. So a common or frequent change or activity you do in network settings, especially access points, is you may be adding or modifying SSID settings. And you would have to do this across every network manually. Well, Gluware gives you the ability to edit that via one time and then apply it across all those networks. So here we're going to kind of build it out and show you across the org settings and others. And to synchronize the fabric, so to speak, or the SDN network, we've created a feature construct called a global sync. And with the global sync, we can pull in all the policies that we're going to be automating. Again, with Gluware, you're essentially making net changes through API. There could be other things that already exist. Gluware is essentially providing an update of the various things that you're automating through Gluware. So we're editing a global sync policy. So what you see here is the global sync now points to numerous network-wide settings and adds in two new SSIDs and the corresponding settings with those SSIDs. So, in a matter of minutes, you can pull in the policies, apply it to multiple switches, and then before you make the change, what you're seeing in this step is Gluware provides the ability to run a provisioning preview. In the preview, we make all the API read calls, compare it to the new policy, and in the log here, you're going to see exactly what is going to happen, what changes are going to be made if you execute the actual provisioning. So this is an important step, kind of that print preview or the what if, to say, I want to make sure before I go ahead and commit to this to the network, what's going to happen. And so what you see in the log here is it's going to tell you each network and the changes it's going to make to each network. And you could paste this into a ServiceNow ticket for, or even automatically put it in a ServiceNow ticket for an approval before the change. But essentially, we've just previewed the change. And here, this view, the kind of CLI preview view, shows you an abstracted view of exactly what's going to happen. So here we are in the Meraki dashboard. And if we navigate, what you would have had it done is go into each network and navigate into each wireless settings. And here's where you would add and then configure a SSID. Instead, again, having to do that across hundreds of networks, we're doing it once in Gluware. Now that change we just previewed, we're going to actually commit it or provision it to the network, and the corresponding network-wide features and the two new SysIDs along with those SysID parameters, are getting committed to the network. And again, we have very detailed logs interacting with the Meraki API. Meraki has very rich API support and supports third-party automation like Gluware. So we are leveraging that API interaction and being able to provide automation. It's really a big benefit to customers who are already automating their CLI, their route switch networks with Gluware. Now they can automate and orchestrate change across Meraki, access points, switches, and appliances in the same manner. So this config modeling, concept of editing, and then here we are back in Meraki. We can navigate into like spot check a SysID, and we can see here that the PW LAN and guestnet SysIDs have been created, and all of the corresponding settings for those are configured.